available in snow and graphite. Again, the iMac, bundled with iMovie and iTunes, is the best desktop computer to be a digital hub to all of your other digital devices, and the best and fastest way to get onto the internet. So the new iMacs, which brings us to the Power Mac G4. Power Mac G4, we introduced a new lineup of Power Macs in January. Our phrase was the power to burn CDs, DVDs, and Pentiums. We also introduced the SuperDrive, a landmark achievement, a drive that's capable of burning CDs, reading DVDs, and most important, burning DVDs that you can read in almost any consumer DVD player. This has been a very successful product for us, and today I am thrilled to say we have the second generation of this product to introduce to you this morning. Internally, we call it Quicksilver. This is what the Power Mac has looked like up till today. This is what Quicksilver looks like. It's a nice refinement. And Quicksilver is going to come in 3 models. They are all very fast. 733 megahertz. Yesterday, 733 megahertz was at the top of our line, the fastest chip we shipped. Starting today, it is our entry-level Power Mac. Our mid-range is 867 megahertz, and we have a 2 megabyte L3 cache. This thing screams. And our high-end, by popular request from almost all of our pro customers, dual 800 megahertz with dual 2 megabyte level 3 caches. It's going to be the ultimate machine to run Mac OS X on. This machine delivers 12 gigaflops of sustained throughput. These machines are very fast. They all have 133 megahertz system and memory bus. They all have 5 slots, AGP4X graphics, FireWire, 3 drive bays, and gigabit Ethernet built in on the motherboard. And they all come in the award-winning enclosure we've come to know and love. Power Mac, where a pro customer can get at any component inside, be it memory, a drive, anything, just by opening one door. So 3 models. 733, 867, and dual 800, single, and dual processor. Let's take a look at the configs. The 867 is the fastest chip we've ever shipped. The dual 800 is the fastest system we've ever shipped. 128 to 256 megabytes of memory, 40, 60, and 80 gigabyte drives. This is the largest hard drive we've ever shipped. And since you can fit 3 of them in the box, you can fit a 1/4 terabyte in the Power Mac box now. NVIDIA GeForce 2 graphics cards across the line, except at the top end we have included a dual display card, which has both an Apple digital display output and a VGA output, so you can have 2 displays operating simultaneously with independent screens. This is the big one. CDRW at the entry, SuperDrive, not only on the high-end model, but we are bringing it down now to the mid-range. And the prices, $1699, $2499, $3499. So, let's take a look at these SKUs. The entry level, it cost $3,500 yesterday to get a 733 megahertz G4. It costs $1699 today. It cost $3499 to get a SuperDrive yesterday. That's $1,000 less today with an incredible config with an 867 megahertz G4. And the high end is to die for if you're running Mac OS X. Dual processors, 80 gigabyte hard drive, dual display and SuperDrive for $3499. We're very, very pleased with these configs. Now let's talk about the SuperDrive for a minute for those of you who haven't used one yet. This is a breakthrough of the first order. When we first shipped the SuperDrive early this year, we were the first people in the world to do so. And what a super drive is we can look at the different kinds of drives here. A CD-ROM is a drive that reads CDs. A DVD drive is a drive that reads both CDs and DVDs so that in particular you can play movies. A CDRW drive forsakes the ability to read DVDs in exchange for the ability to both read and write CDs. So we can write music CDs, we can write data CDs. Now, an interesting drive that's just come on the market that's popular, we're shipping a lot of them in our new iBook, is the combo drive, which adds back in the ability to read DVDs so you can watch movies on the road. It's called a combo drive. But there's still been one thing missing, and that's the ability to write DVDs that we can go play in consumer DVD players. And that is what the super drive adds back in. The super drive does all of these things in one drive. So we can write DVDs that we can play in consumer DVD players without giving up the ability to play movies and write CDs as well. And the super drive is now available in 2 of the 3 PowerMac SKUs, starting at $24.99. We think a lot of people are going to be writing a lot of DVDs starting now. So, all of these new PowerMacs, of course, are powered with the incredibly fast G4 chip. But how does this stack up against Intel's Pentium 4? We've got an 867 megahertz G4 trying to compete with a 1.7 gigahertz Pentium 4. They say they've released a 1.8, but we tried to buy one the last few weeks and we can't find one anywhere. So my guess is they'll be out soon. So we had to settle for a 1.7 gigahertz one. How do they compare? Well, I'd like to invite Phil Schiller, our Vice President of Worldwide Product Marketing, up, and let's have a showdown. Hi, Phil.
Hey, Steve.
What do we have here today?
Good morning. This is my favorite part of the show. This is the part where we get to see whether our favorite computer, the super fast PowerMac, can really keep up with these amazingly high megahertz Pentium 4s. You see on the screen, we have 2 computers here, a PowerMac G4 on the left screen, running at 867 megahertz, and an Intel Pentium 4 system at 1.7 gigahertz. Now, they're both configured the same, like gigabyte of memory, same drives, same NVIDIA graphic cards. And what we want to do is put them side by side, running the latest software exactly the same on both machines with exactly the same files, and see how they do. So, Steve, if you can help me up.
Yep.
I'd like to bring up Media Cleaner. This is new Media Cleaner 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a very processor-intensive and system-intensive task that a lot of our pro customers do, putting up content with QuickTime and other media applications. It's encoding and decoding and doing a lot of very powerful work. So, to begin with, if you want to give us a countdown, first we have to start up, pre-flight it by hitting play. And it's going to give us a prompt for an output file it's going to make. So, for the count of 3.
3, 2, 1, go.
So now what we're doing is starting with the source QuickTime movie. We're going to deinterlace it because it's coming from an NTC video. It has to be deinterlaced it. We're going to crop it, and we're going to encode it with the brand new Sorensen 3 video codec. So a lot of high-end processing performance. And the machines are both going. It's a brand new movie trailer that went up on Friday on our movie trailer website, up on apple.com. It's the kind of work our developers do every single day. And as you see, the PowerMac is moving ahead on the left, the Pentium 4 trying to keep up on the right. It's an appropriate video clip for here because, of course, as you all know, Spider-Man is from New York.
Every time you watch video on the web, somebody has done this or something very similar to this. So this is a very, very common thing that's done all the time by our customers.
I know the suspense is killing you all. What is going to happen?
you can see why people want this to happen as fast as possible. All right, Power Mac is just about done here. And the 1.7 gigahertz Pentium 4 looks a little under halfway done. All right, Power Mac is done. While we're waiting, why don't you play the video?
All right. Take a look at this clip we've just encoded.
All right. So there are thousands of people doing this right now as we're sitting here. And you can see why they want these machines to go as fast as they can. The 1.7 gigahertz Pentium looks to be a little over halfway done, so we're going to let it rest in peace here and go on to our next demo. All right. Phil, what's next?
All right, well, a performance demo for our customers who use Power Macs wouldn't be complete with the demo of Photoshop. It's one of the most used apps by our Power Mac customers. It really takes full advantage of everything the system has to offer, the velocity engine, the memory bus performance, graphics, and the hard drive to do amazing things for amazing documents that our customers create. We again have a 867 megahertz G4 on the left and a 1.7 gigahertz Pentium on the right.
All right, let's bring up Photoshop here.
Okay, now this is a document, the exact same document in both machines, and for those who have watched this before, you know that with Photoshop, not only can we move the same document cross-platform, but we can go through and script a series of actions that an artist would actually do to create a document, as the case here.
Now, on every one of these demos, I always ask Phil and his team, is there any trickery going on here? Is this totally straight? Is this exactly what somebody does every day? And the answer is always yes, and we police these things very, very strictly. But I can guarantee you this one's yes, because I am familiar with what you're about to see. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So we have a movie poster here that was created by an artist with actual output from some very high-end 3D software. And we're going through a 200 megabyte file that has over 100 actions that an artist would do to create this document. We're bringing in different layers, we're transforming them, we're using fills and gradients, unsharp masks and color lenses. And this really taxes all the great capabilities in Adobe Photoshop, the type of work our customers do every single day. The Mac is done. And I know what you're thinking, is the PC working? What are those 1.7 gigahertz actually doing? You can see the weight cursor as it's trying to scale down this image and bring it in, something the Mac did a while ago.
And again, the #1 thing most people do with Photoshop is scale images. This is done by every Photoshop user many, many, many times a day. By the way, this poster is an answer to the question, what will you be doing on November 2nd? Are you sure this thing's running? Okay,
yeah.
Good.